Right. So it's question number 10 from the exercise 18.1. It says that given that r is equals to under root cos theta, find the approximate error in r while theta is measured as pi by 3 and is increased by 2%. Alright. So it is a question from small changes. Alright. So firstly, we have r is equals to under root cos theta. So first we need to derivate that function. I can write in this form: r is equals to cos theta to the power 1 divided by 2. Alright, and now if I derivate it, so dr over d theta is equals to, first we need to write down the power, that is 1 upon 2, subtract 1 from the power, so it will be cos theta 1 upon 2 minus 1, and then we need to derivate the function. The function we have, it's cos theta, so the differentiation of cos theta, it's minus sine theta. Alright, so after that it will be 1 divided by 2 cos theta, 1 upon 2 minus 1, it's minus 1 upon 2, and here we have minus sine theta. Right, if I arrange it, so it will be 1 divided by cos theta is negative power, right? If you shift the power in the denominator, so that power it will be positive, it's cos theta 1 upon 2, and in the numerator we have minus sine theta. Alright, so that is my value for dr over d theta. After that, we have the initial value of theta, and that is equals to pi over 3, right? So that is my initial value, so I can substitute the value here. Dr upon d theta at theta equals to pi over 3 is equals to 1 upon 2 cos the value of theta is pi over 3 with the power 1 upon 2 minus sine theta is pi over 3. Alright, make sure that your calculators are in radian mode while you are solving this cos and sine function. So take out your calculators and find out the value of sine and cosine. So let me just calculate the values here. Alright, so first you need to change your degree mode to radian mode. Alright, and now pi by 3, pi is what? Pi is 180 degree. So 180 by 3, it's 60. Alright, so in terms of degree it will be cos 60, and in terms of radian it will be 3.142 divided by 60, and the cos of it, it's 0.988, and if I need to find out the root, so that will be 0.99. So it will be 1 upon 2, the value is 0.99. Similarly, sine pi over 3 is 3.142 divided by 3, and sine of it, it's 0.866. Alright, now we need to solve these numbers. So 0.866 divided by 2 and divided by 0.99, so the value we got is negative 0.437. that is my dr over d theta at theta equals to pi over 3. Alright, we need to find out approximate error, right? A small change. So the working formula for a small change we used in the previous exercise, it's change in r, small change delta r over delta theta is equals to dr over d theta. That is the working formula. We have the value of dr upon d theta. For d theta, it says it's the increase in 2%. Alright, so there is a calculation error here, in this part, right? The value of cos pi by 3, 3.142 divided by 3, cos of it, it's 0.499, and when you find out the root, the value it will be 0.707. Alright, so when you simplify this one, so it will be 0.707 times 2 gives you the value of 1.414. Alright, so here I will write it in the denominator. I got 1.414 0.4, and in the numerator we have minus 0.866, right? So 0.866 divided by 1.414, it leads to 0.6124 with a negative sign. That is my dr over d theta. And now I'm going to place the value in this equation. So increase by 2%. So what is 2%? 2% is 2 over 100. So it means 0.02. That is my change in theta. So it will be delta r small change divided by 0.02 is equals to dr over d theta is minus 0.6124. So when you multiply it with 0.02, so change in r is equals to 0.0122. Alright, so that is my answer for delta r. And since it says that it is increased by 2%, so we are going to ignore the negative sign because it says increase. So negative sign defines the decrement, but it says it is increased, so we are going to ignore the negative sign. And that is my answer for the first part, change in r. Alright, so firstly you need to note down the solution till here, and for that part you have a time of 90 seconds. So start. Alright, after that, in the next part it says if theta increases at a constant rate of 0.5 radians per second. Now what is radian per second? Radian per second, it's d theta divided by dt. It is equals to 0.5 radian per second. Alright, find the rate of change of r. Rate of change of r matlab it's dr over dt. We need to find dr over dt, and these two things defines that this question is from the chain rule. Alright, and the working formula for chain rule, it will be dr divided by dt is equals to dr divided by d theta times d theta divided by dt. Chain rule we had discussed in chapter number 16, exercise 16.2. Now dr over d theta we had find out already, it's 0.6124 times d theta over dt, it's already given, that is 0.5, and when you multiply these two you will get dr over dt, and that is 0.306. that is your answer for dr over dt. Alright, so you have a time of 40 seconds, I think quite enough to note down its solution. So start. After this question, moving on to the next one. It's question number 13 from the same exercise 18.1. It says, find the value of x where 0 is x from 0 till pi, for which y is equals to x minus 2 sine x has a stationary value. Alright, so it is an easy question. You all know very well regarding the stationary point, the concept of a stationary point. So what you need to do, you need to give it a try first, and for this question you have a time of 3 minutes. So start. Alright, firstly we need to derivate the function. So when I find dy over dx, it leads to 1 minus 2 cos x. That is my first step. After that, we know that for a stationary value, dy over dx equals to 0. So I'm going to place it to 0 and find out the value of cos x, right? So now it will be 2 cos x is equals to 1, and cos x equals to 1 divided by 2, right? And now we can find the value of x here. So x is equals to cos inverse of 1 upon 2. Now this question is from the topic trigonometry. So in trigonometry we need to find out the value of alpha first, right? And since cos is positive, that means we are dealing with either in the first quadrant or in the fourth quadrant. So I am going to solve this solution here. So now it will be alpha is equals to cos inverse of 1 over 2. Make sure that your calculators are in radian mode. That is very important. That is why I am repeating it again and again. So the inverse of 1 upon 2 and cos inverse gives you the value of 1.047. All right, since we are dealing either in the first or in the fourth quadrant, I'm going to highlight the alpha here. So that is my first alpha, 1.047, and for the fourth quadrant it's 1.047, right? We are going to ignore the value for fourth quadrant because the range is from 0 to pi, right? And pi is what? Pi is means that we need to restrict our theta in the second quadrant. So I'm going to take the value only for the first quadrant. So the value of theta, it is equals to 1.047. Value in the fourth quadrant we are going to reject because this part is not included in this range. And theta equals to 1.047, that is your answer. Alright, so I hope that it is clear to you. And the concept of stationary points we had discussed in the early exercises of chapter number 17, and we have done the number of questions in exercise 17.2 and 3 in which we use the same condition of stationary points. After that, moving on towards the next question, it's question number 14. Determine the value of x where 0 is lesser than x is greater than equals to 0, lesser than equals to pi. Again, it is the restriction till second quadrant, that is pi, for which the curve y equals to 2 cos x plus 3 sin x has a stationary point, and determine the nature. Nature means that we need to find out second derivative, d square y over dx square, that is what meant by nature. For a stationary point, we know that dy over dx equals to 0. Alright, so first give it a try, and for this part you have a time of 4 minutes, so start. Alright, firstly I'm going to pick my function, and that is y is equals to 2 cos x plus 3 sin x. When we derivate it, dy over dx is equals to the derivative of cos x, it's minus sin x, so it's minus 2 sin x, plus derivative of sin is 3 cos x. Once you have derived the function, now you need to place the value of x here, that is already given in this question. So dy by dx at x is equals to, in fact no, what you need to do, as it is given for a stationary point, so you need to place 0 here and find out the value of x now, right? 3 cos x. Now if I shift minus 2 on the left side, it will be 2 sin x is equals to 3 cos x. Cos is multiplying on the right side. When you shift on the left side, it will be 2 sin x divided by cos x is equals to 3 divided by 3 only, right? And now if you shift 2 on the right side, I am considering my solution here. So it will be 3 divided by 2, and sine over cos, it means that the function is 10 here, right? So now you have 10x is equals to 3 upon 2 at first. Since 10 is positive, that means that theta is in first quadrant or third quadrant. But we are going to pick only first quadrant because the range is from 0 till pi, and pi is lie in the second quadrant, right? Now we need to find out the alpha, and alpha is what? Alpha is 10 inverse of 3 divided by 2. You can find out the value, but make sure calculators are in radian mode. So 3 divided by 2 and inverse of 10, it leads to 0.983, that is your alpha. Alright, and since we only are looking for in the first quadrant, so theta is 0.983. Now you have the value of theta. We need to find out the nature of this point. That means now we need to derivate the function again. So the first derivative we have, it's dy over dx is equals to 3 cos x minus 2 sin x. When I derivate the function again, d square y over dx square equals to derivative of cos is sine minus sine, so it's minus 3 sin x minus 2 derivative of sine is cos x, right? Now we need to place the value of theta here. So theta we have it's 0.983. Now it will be minus 3 sine 0.983 minus 2 cos 0.983. We can find the value of these two functions. So 0.983 and sine of it times 3, it gives you the value of minus 2.5 minus 0.983 and cos of it times 2, it will be minus 1.11. So when you add these two, you will get minus 3.6. Since your answer is in negative, that means it is a maximum function. Alright, so I hope that you have done the same, and if you stuck at some point, so this solution makes it clear. So if you note down anything you want, so you have a time 1 minute to note down the solution in your copy. So start. Alright, moving on towards the next question. It's question number 16. The equation of a curve is y is equals to 3 cos x plus 4 sin x, where x is greater than equals to 0, lesser than equals to 2 pi. Now that means that now we are going to consider all 4 quadrants, right? All 4 quadrants. calculate the values of x for which the tangents to the curve are parallel to the x-axis, right? So you need to find out the values of x, and the condition you have is tangent to the curve are parallel to the x-axis. So at first you have an equation phi is equals to 3 cos x plus 4 sine x, right? You need to derivate that function, right? And first find out the derivative and then find out the value of x. How? You can place dy by dx equals to 0, right? Because the straight line has a 0 gradient. And why we need to equate it with 0? It says tangents parallel to the x-axis, right? That means for parallel conditions we know that gradients are same, right? m1 equals to m2, that is meant by parallel lines, right? So let's suppose that you have a curve in any direction. When it says parallel to x-axis, that means the tangent must be in this direction so that these two lines are parallel, either in this case or in this case, right? So that is why we are saying that dy by dx equals to 0. So what you need to do, you need to give it a try by yourself, and what you can do at first, find out dy over dx. Second, equate dy over dx equals to 0. Third, apply trigonometry to find x. That is your steps of working I have written here, and you have a time of 5 minutes to complete the solution, and then I will start. So begin. Alright, done. So the steps you need to attempt here is, at first we need to find out the derivative, right? So the derivative, it will be minus 3, derivative of cos is negative sign, that is why I've written a negative at the beginning. Minus 3 sin x plus derivative of sin is cos x, so it's 4 cos x equals to dy over dx. That is my first step. After that, I need to equate dy by dx equals to 0, because I've already mentioned that it is parallel to x-axis, means that the gradient is 0. So dy by dx is 0 is equals to minus 3 sin x plus 4 cos x. We need to arrange this equation. So now it will be 3 sin x is equals to 4 cos x. We can arrange. So sin x over cos x is equals to 4 divided by 3. Alright, so sine over cos, it means that now we have a function tan here, so tan x is equals to 4 over 3. We need to find out the decimal value, so 4 over 3, it's 1.33. Alright, and now we need to find out the alpha here, that is inverse of tan. So tan inverse, it's 0.927. 0.927. Now you have positive 10, that means either the theta in first quadrant or in the third quadrant. So we have the value of theta that lies in the first quadrant, that is 0.927. And if I draw the roughly diagram here, so that is my first theta, alpha it is, and it's my third quadrant alpha. And when we need to find out theta, so theta is basically this angle starting from the x-axis, right? That is my first quadrant theta, and for third quadrant it will be in this direction, right? So for third quadrant, what I need to do, it's very simple. I need to add pi y, because from first quadrant to this second one, the angle we have, it's pi 180, and I need to add the value of alpha to find out the theta in the third quadrant. So pi is what? Pi is 3.142 plus alpha we had find out it's 0.927. So when we added 3.142 plus 0.927, it's 4.069. 4.069. So in last, the two values of x I got is, the first value it's 0.927, and the next value I got it's 4.069. Alright, so these are my final answers. Clear? Any problem so far? If you have any problem, don't hesitate to drop me a message on the portal, and I will get back to you as early as I can. But make sure that you are trying those questions, those exercises by yourself. Differentiation and integration, it's one of the lengthy topic in your additional mathematics, because these two topics has almost 7 to 8 chapters included in differentiation and integration. And if you observe questions in the past papers, so these two topics are repeating very frequently. Like it is mandatory that you have at least 2 questions or 1 question from this topic. Alright, so for your homework, what you need to do, you need to attempt question number 11. I'm just writing it down. You need to attempt question number 11, exercise 18.1. That is your homework. You need to attempt. I hope that all of you can do it easily. The main concept is still the same. First you need to find out the stationary value, and how you are going to find it. It's very simple. First find out the differentiation and then equate it to 0 to find out the stationary value. And once you got your stationary value, you need to find out the nature, and for nature we need to again derivate that function. Alright, so it's the same process with different conditions. So I hope that it is clear to you, and it is quite enough for today class. Inshallah in next class we are going to continue with the same topic. Till then, take care and Allah Hafiz.